Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Perfect Tips and Tricks with OESD. I am Carrie. Very happy to have you all, as always. Today, hopefully, we will not have the fun technology issues we had yesterday. So make sure you let me know if you're having any sound problems or anything like that. I'm thinking today the energy is better out in the world, so I think we're going to do all right. So I will cover some of the things, some of the housekeeping things that we touched on yesterday, but kind of got lost in the shuffle towards the end of this. So I apologize for that, but I think it's really important stuff. So again, welcome. Hi, everybody out there. Hi, Kim. Hi, Lois. Hi, Beverly. It's wonderful to see you all virtually as you have joined me every day, and I so appreciate that. Don't forget to share this video if you know people who might like to see it. Share with your friends. Say hi, call out your local store. You know, your interactions out there mean a whole lot to me. Makes me feel like I'm not talking to nobody here in my basement in beautiful, sunny, snowy Illinois. So hi, thank you. Great to see you. Hi, Sharon. Awesome. So let's get started. One of the things I wanted to do first, which I meant to do yesterday, is I have some more show and tell from last week's embroider along with the freestanding lace baskets. So a couple more of you have sent those to me. I'm so happy to share them. I'm assuming you guys all would want to see those. Hopefully some of you who shared with me are out there. So let me show you those. Let's start with that. Hi, Ruth. All right, so the basket along, some of you did with me last week, freestanding baskets for all seasons. Karen sent this beautiful example. Karen, I love the patterned ribbon that you used and the yellow around the flowers. I think it's so happy. You guys keep sharing these when you are changing for the seasons. You know, share a picture out when you're, you know, have it out in the house throughout the year, because I think that's going to be really neat to see them kind of change with the seasons, as that's the intention. This beautiful one from Rose Lee. I apologize, Rose Lee, if that's not how you pronounce your name. I'm sort of going to go for it, but I love this. I love the fabric on those flip-flops, kind of tie-dye. I love that. Melissa, one of our beautiful, wonderful educators, did hers in red. I love this. It is not subtle, Melissa, and I think that's fantastic. I also am a little jealous of what looks like the ocean in your window view there. So I don't know if you actually have such a beautiful view, or maybe that's just a, you know, some art behind there. But either way, I'm real jealous. Melissa's in Florida, so she has some beautiful weather. And then Sue, one of my lovely customers from Buffalo, New York, Sue Simpkins, did hers, and she added a name to hers, which I think is so smart. So for Easter baskets, you know, these don't have to be changeable for all seasons, but if you want to just kind of lean into that Easter basketness, I love these with Sue. I think these were for your granddaughters with their names. I love this. So super cute. And then Nancy, it's so fun to see these. And you know what? I share these pictures with our art and digitizing team, and they really love to see these. We could talk to John a little bit about that in a minute, but you know, they spend so much time working on designing this stuff, and then it kind of goes out into the world, and sometimes they don't always get the feedback. So I try really hard to share the finished products with them, and they love to see that. So speaking of, today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to John. So John is one of our wonderful, amazing, talented digitizers. He has been with us for 17 years. You know, the staff at OESD really has, you can tell a lot about a company by how long the staff has been there. And our art and digitizing team has really kind of been through it all with us. So they've been doing this a long time. You know, 8 hours a day for 17 years, you're going to get pretty darn good at things. So that's one of the reasons our quality is above and beyond really anyone else, is that these people know what they're doing. We have a great team of women and men digitizing there. So let's bring up John. John. There you are. John, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Perfect Tips and Tricks. It is wonderful to have you. from your home in Oklahoma, right? You're in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people would probably kind of like to hear a little bit about your background, how you got into digitizing. It's sort of an interesting field to have as a job.
Yeah. I actually started in production. I was making your old school magic boxes, I believe.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people out there that know about the magic boxes.
Yeah. I started production, and then someone spilled the beans and let the management know that I had some artistic ability. So I started training to be a digitizer and never looked back.
And that's super cool. So essentially, like we said, we don't want to count up the hours, but 8 hours a day, 7 days a week for, 17-ish years. I think, we all get good at the things we do a lot. And it's amazing that you still have passion for something that you've done that much.
Yes, it's really easy to do it when you enjoy creating something out of nothing. We're literally getting art and we just put our mind to it. And that's basically what we do. It's just being creative every day.
Yeah, one of the things that's really cool, and unfortunately everyone out in the world doesn't get to experience this, is that a lot of times the art that we give to the digitizing team is flat. I'm going to say quote unquote flat, where it's something that it needs that extra punch. And we say to you guys, here's the art, but take it and run with it. And then you guys add so much extra stuff, texture and stitch, fills and things like that.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with just lengthening the stitch or shortening the stitch. You can make a design look completely flat or completely realistic just by just a couple of different shadings, techniques and whatnot. But yeah, you gather all that over a couple of years and it comes together pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we were thinking today, and I think you've got something ready for us, that we're going to sort of watch you digitize a piece. And you guys out in the world are really this is something I'm so excited about because we don't ever do this. We have been working on a collection really for a year-ish. It seems like forever, John, doesn't it?
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. And so we're starting to kind of get into the nitty-gritty of it. And John is actually going to walk us through a piece. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I'll tease it a little bit after we're done talking to John, but I'm guessing you're going to guess what it is once you see John's piece. So John, why don't you share your screen and we'll get into it. Oh, there it is. Perfect.
Yeah. This is going to be exciting. I'm glad you guys get a sneak peek of this because I don't think we've ever done a sneak peek of something this big so far out.
Yeah, for sure.
Here is a face. I think you probably figure out what we're doing, but this is going to be an applique. Hopefully you guys can see this. And this is going to be an applique.
Yep.
It's obviously a freestanding structure. We got our buttonettes and our eyelets. And we're going to walk through this design and show you how this is from start to begin. This is Tim's artwork. And if you haven't seen Tim's interview, I think it was April 6th. I encourage you to go back in there and watch that video of him. He explains how he does his paper and how it helps us. It really does help us to have it on our desk while we're digitizing it, just to see it in dimensions how it's going to work. But so far, we work from the back and start forwards. So we're going to do this face part first, and then we're going to go to the beard and then to the mouth and finishing up with the stuff that's on top.
John, I'm gonna say something really quick because I didn't say this before we skip to you. If you guys have questions for John, make sure you leave them in the comments because when he's done doing this, I will relay some of those questions. So if you guys are out there, I know you have questions. We're not going to get into super, super technical digitizing questions just because, that's a lot of information. But if you have questions for John, ask him in the comments. And then when John is done with his little demo here, we'll get him to answer some of them.
All right.
Sorry, carry on.
No, that's okay. So we're going to do a redraw. It's going to show you how exactly it's been digitized. There it goes. So what it's doing right here is putting down our placement stitch. You're going to lay down your prepped fabric. And just follow your instructions that come with it. But you're going to have your placement stitch. You can lay your fabric down. And then it's going to do your cut line. And then after that, it's going to do your tack down line.
Yep. So all of you guys probably know, and especially from the basket, so this will be done the same way that a freestanding, our basket was done, where you're going to hoop a layer of Aquamesh, a layer of Badge Master, and you're going to prep your fabric with the stable stick. And so you saw, we just did the placement line, then you're going to put your fabric down, then it does that tack down cut. And John, you guys do something special with your tack down cut lines, right?
Yeah, I rather do the cut in place method. And it's very nice to have a piece big enough to make sure you have enough hands, enough to grab onto, get your hands in there, and just slide your scissor bite next to that cut line. But we kind of pull that cut line as far to this edge as we possibly can, because sometimes we get things that come in here, the walks, and sometimes you get fabric that sticks out too. And if I press play and show you the next step, I add a zigzag, and that keeps from when you walk from one point to another. Sometimes
John, can you toggle your artwork off?
Okay, yeah.
Just 'cause I think people, there you go. I think people can maybe see the stitches a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah, I did. Awesome. So what we're doing here, we got to do our placement stitch for our beard first. And it's going to be the same method as your face. Now we're doing our cut line and then our tack down.
Mm-hmm. And that double line is really what's nice. It keeps us from, when we're trimming, if we trim our that first row of stitches, you've got like that safety line.
Yep. And then if you do trim it a little too close, I have this zigzag, and sometimes that'll kind of gather up all your little frayed edges, if you have any. Mm-hmm. Now we're doing some freestanding lace part. These are tabs, and I guess you'll figure out what they go to later on.
Yeah, I think it's great. You guys are always thinking about the end user when you're digitizing. So like that how it can be made easier for all of you guys out in the world. These guys are thinking about you when they digitize.
Yeah. And the freestanding lace is one of the most fun things for me to do. It really is a puzzle. If you don't do it right, you're going to wash out that stabilizer and it's all going to fall apart. So now we're doing our buttonettes. We're walking. So if we're walking over that fabric, sometimes if you walk over that fabric, not close to the edge, and you'll get these little frayed edges sometimes. So that's the reason we put that zigzag in there.
That makes sense. The needle's almost like pushing the fibers out if you didn't secure them down. Exactly.
We're doing our other.
And I like how the tabs are pretty, even though you're not going to see them. They have kind of they're still pretty. They're like a hidden pretty thing.
Yep. And we put this flat edge on there to make everything nice and flat and smooth. Now we're doing our cover stitch. And our nose. So after we've done that, we're going to our beard, and it's going really too fast. Let me slow that puppy down.
So we've already put our fabric down on our imaginary applique.
Yeah. And now we're doing some special stitches here. We're actually going to incorporate tufted satins into this one. So if you're wondering why we're going over that so much.
So tufted satins are super cool, and some of you may know what they are and some of you don't, because we haven't used them a whole lot super recently, but this guy called for it. So what tufted satins do essentially is you're going to slit this satin stitch, and it's going to create it'll create a furry beard.
Yep. This is something we haven't done, in, like you said, in quite a while. I'm anxious to see this guy sewn out.
Yeah, because you guys are seeing this before. None of us have even seen this, stitched out. So this is exciting for me too, to get to see this process. But a nutcracker needs a fuzzy beard.
Yeah. Now we're finishing up the beard with the cover stitch. So we're just going on with our layers. We did our face first. moving forward to the foreground. So we're going to the beard. Now we're going to his cheeks because the mustache is over the cheeks. Now we're doing his mouth, his mustache, and we put extra underlay on that. So because there's a end of the
applique fabric, right?
The applique fabric's right there. So we got a little extra underlay in there to tack all that stuff down so you don't see any fabric frays and stuff. You got your eyes, your mouth. Now we have to have his teeth. And that's how...
I think the cat's out of the bag there, especially when you get the Nutcracker teeth out there. So he will be a Nutcracker. You guys have torn it out of us.
It's kind of like Christmas, when you get your kids their Christmas presents and you stowed them away in the closet for months and months on end. You can't wait any longer to give it to them. You give it to them early just to see the reaction. It's kind of what this feels like.
Totally. We spend so much time. I mean, you guys have been working on this Christmas, so 2020 Christmas, since before 2019 Christmas. So we've been talking about Christmas for so long. And the releases for this year that we're deep in the development and digitizing phase, you guys are going to love them.
Yeah.
You're going to love them. They're really, really, really good. Awesome. So that I learned some stuff there. So if you want to stop sharing, I think you probably could. So tell me, out in the world, do you guys have questions for John? There's some questions about what software we use, obviously. That's sort of everyone asks that question first. So we use it's essentially a commercial digitizing software. Joe answered some of those questions out in the world, but we use a commercial grade digitizing software that some of people said that it looks similar to Bernina software, and it certainly has some similarities. Let's see. I think you answered the questions just in your demonstration, I think. Joyce wants to know if it'll be in Spree. It absolutely will. Everything that we do is released in our Spree Club. So for those of you who don't know, we have a membership program that you would want to contact your local retail partners that can tell you about that. But I think, John, that really, you did great.
Well, thank you. I mean, I'm excited to see what I like to see, like you said earlier, I like to see people's reactions to it. I love to see their sellouts of them. We love to see that feedback. So if you keep sending the pictures, keep telling us what we could do better, where we went wrong, and we always take that into advice. So,
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, John. I will talk to you soon. So that was super great from John. Not only is John super talented, he's just a lovely person, and I love getting to work with him. When I go down to Oklahoma and visit with the team there, which I try and do once a month, it's kind of tough right now, but I just love the team. Brian and John and Ashley and Joe and the guys in digitizing are just amazing. So you guys probably want to see a little more some pictures of this final product, right? I would think you might. So let's tease you a little bit more. Let's see if we can get you going here. All right. We talked to John. So here he is, our Sugarplum Nutcracker. We are so excited about this release. We've been working on it for a really long time, and to get to finally see parts of it come to life. Our Sugarplum Nutcracker will release in the fall. It will release under our Scissortail Stitches brand. For those of you who are lucky enough to be near an OESD Scissortail Stitches retail partner, our brick and mortar stores and Spree Club members always get all our new releases first. We always hear around that fall time when all the new releases, the fall releases start coming out. People will post on here, they'll start stitching, and people say, how did you get that? Where is that? And we care so much about our local retail partners and our Spree members. Our retail partners are the reason we can do what we can do. You guys know that supporting your local stores is a huge part of, keeping the economy going. And we make sure that they get these releases before anybody else, so that the brick and mortar can get some love from that. So if you're interested in this, the stores don't even know about this yet. So please don't call them asking about it, because they will be angry at me. This is not going to release until fall. September is what I believe it's on the calendar for now. We will stay, we'll keep you in the loop. But the Sugarplum Nutcracker, he will have tufted satins, which means fuzzy beard. You will be able to use glitz on it. If you can see in that picture, there's his buttons, and on his hat there is space for glitz. Those are those hot fix crystals. I've also made sure that if you didn't want to use those crystals, that it still looks awesome. So totally up to you guys. He's in a very on-trend sort of mint and pink, and it's going to be great. I cannot wait to see this finish. So I hope you are as excited about this as we are. He's pretty rad. So you guys get the first sneak peek. So that is what we have in store for today. One of the things I wanted to talk about yesterday and did not is a release that released yesterday, which is our new Quilters Building block collection with scissor tail stitches. This released yesterday. A lot of you purchased it. I'm really, really excited about it. It's essentially a piecing in the hoop collection. So this collection has two sizes of basic quilt blocks. So you make these blocks in the hoop and then piece them together on your sewing machine. Your points are going to be perfect every time. You can make an endless combination of things with this collection. So for an example, these are some of the blocks you can make. So that's a split half square triangle, a half square triangle, a a log cabin. And then, for example, with those three blocks, if you sew those together, you can get a million different combinations. So some of you are quilters, and you know how fun it is to play with quilt blocks. Here's another example. So you have the economy block, the flying goose, and then a couple solid blocks, which seems sort of silly, but it helps people to have solid blocks to piece in. So this great combination could be made with that. So really quick before I move on, you guys can see, if I can do this in reverse, this quilt behind me, which if you have sharp eyes, you've seen it in the back of some of our videos. That pattern for that quilt is actually in the Quilters Building Block collection. So Kelly and Melissa, our wonderful educators, helped us develop that, and it's a sampler quilt that involved all the different blocks. We give you the instructions. My pillow, let's see. This was made with some of those blocks. My tulip pink, oh, I can't do it backwards. So I hope that you guys like this collection as much as I do. So fun. So before we leave you, this we touched on really quick yesterday, but I want to do it again because I think it's important before we kind of head out today. If you have some friends that would like the live streams, are live, please invite them to watch with you. If you guys see, while this is live, you'll see that little button I've circled on the screen. Invite friends to watch. So please share. We appreciate it. And then last but not least, we get a lot of questions about how do I know when you're live? This is how you know. Make sure that the following button is checked, that I've got highlighted there, and that when you click that little bell icon, that your all is checked. You see that? It says get notified whenever they go live. We want you to be able to know what we're doing. We've got some really, really amazing things coming up. Next week is full of fun. Kimberly will be back with us tomorrow to do tearaways for Stabilizer Week. Tearaway, I think, is tomorrow. Yep. And then also Tamara will stop in and say hi, I believe. We are going to be doing a mystery project with you guys involving the Quilters Building Block Collection. So if you've purchased that, we're going to do a secret project she's going to talk about on Friday. And then next week, we will do our Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we will do the mystery project. And And then something that's really exciting, I'm excited about a lot of things. I just love everything here. Kay England will be with us on Thursday of next week. So some of you know Kay. She is just a force to be reckoned with, and she has done some amazing collections for us, and she's going to be with us. So, so much. We're so excited. We're so happy that you join us every day. I love this time with you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the good vibes because the technology worked great today. I love seeing you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. You guys have a great rest of your day. Happy stitching.